In my video, Are We All Selfish? I explained why we're all selfish. Please watch that one first if you haven't already. So we're all selfish, but we're not all equally selfish. There are actually 7 types of egoists or selfish people that most of us will be at least once in our lifetime. Among the 7 types, there are 3 who are the good guys in a sense, and there are 3 who are the bad guys in a sense. Then there's one left, which is a type that is neither bad nor good, and I call this one the neutral egoist. The neutral egoist is neutral because this egoist does not have the choice to do something consciously. Think of someone who is asleep or in a coma. When we're asleep or in a coma, we do not have the choice to do something consciously. The neutral egoist distinguishes themselves from the 6 other types of egoists for this very reason, because in most cases we do have a choice to do something consciously. And if we have a choice to do something consciously, then we always have the intention to do or not to do something. And it is the intention that we may or may not have that makes a distinction among the 6 types of egoists. And what type of egoist we are can change at any time. What we do determines what type of egoist we are at that moment. There is a type of egoist attached to every kind of thing we do. And it is impossible to always be just one type of egoist. That's why I said that most of us will be all 7 types of egoists at least once in our lifetime. The 3 types of egoists that are the so-called good guys are, as I like to call it, virtuously selfish. There's the virtuous egoist, the super virtuous egoist, and the ultra virtuous egoist. The virtuous egoist has the intention to prevent causing someone or something harm. This egoist is considerate of their environment. A good example of this type of egoist is the Buddhist. Generally speaking, Buddhists are known to be mindful and attentive, and they want to cause as little harm to their environment as possible. Next is the super virtuous egoist, who has the intention to benefit someone or something. This egoist wants to bring something good to their environment. A good example of this type of egoist is the medical doctor. Their objective is to help those who are experiencing mostly physical discomfort or pain. And then there's the ultra-virtuous egoist, who has the intention to benefit someone or something, but at the expense of their own well-being or comfort. This egoist wants to bring something good to their environment, but at their own cost. A good example of this type of egoist is the self-sacrificing person. This is someone who tends to do something for another, but always to the detriment of themselves. They can easily favor the interests of others above their own. Let's now move on to the other 3 types of egoists, the so-called bad guys, who are, as I like to call it, unvirtuously selfish. There's the unvirtuous egoist, the super unvirtuous egoist, and the ultra unvirtuous egoist. The unvirtuous egoist is the opposite of the virtuous egoist, someone who does not have the intention to prevent causing someone or something harm. This egoist is not considerate of their environment. A good example of this type of egoist is the egocentric person. This is someone who lives in a world of their own and does not realize that there are others who also have all kinds of needs. Think of someone double parking their car where parking spaces are scarce, or someone who steps into an elevator while there are still people inside who want to get out. Next is the super unvirtuous egoist, who has the intention to harm someone or something, but at the expense of their own well-being or comfort. This egoist wants to bring something bad to their environment, but at their own cost. A good example of this type of egoist is the angry parent, the parent who loses their self-control during an argument with their child and hits them on the cheek. The parent regrets it. They harm their child, but at the same time, they also harm themselves. And then there's the ultra unvirtuous egoist who, just like the super unvirtuous egoist, has the intention to harm someone or something, but this one doesn't do it at the expense of their own well-being or comfort. A good example of this type of egoist is the bully. The bully is someone who torments and harasses other people. It is someone who is mean to another and can make their lives miserable. The bully bullies to make themselves feel better at someone else's expense. They take pleasure in other people's misery. Just to be clear, these examples should be regarded purely as such, because we can be multiple types of egoists, one after another, while being a medical doctor or a Buddhist, for example. Now, to determine what type of egoist one is in a specific moment, I've created a guide to which a link can be found in the description of this video. Let me demonstrate with an example situation what type of egoist someone is by using this guide. Situation: a woman throws her burning cigarette from a 4-story building without looking down. The place where the cigarette lands is a path for pedestrians. Question: was there the intention to cause someone or something harm? Answer: no, not in this situation. Was there the intention to benefit someone or something? No. Was there the intention to prevent causing someone or something harm? No. Result: the woman was an unvirtuous egoist at that moment, someone who is not considerate of their environment. Generally speaking, the intention one has leads to the result that was intended. So if someone has the intention to help someone clean the bathroom, for example, and the result is a cleaned bathroom, then we are talking about a general situation. In special situations, however, the intention leads to the result that was not intended. So if someone has the intention to clean the bathroom, but the result is a bathroom that is not cleaned, or not cleaned enough, or even more dirty than it was before, then we are talking about a special situation. But whatever the result may be, ultimately, the intention we have determines what type of egoist we are when we can do something consciously. So, what are you most of the time, virtuously or unvirtuously selfish?